Hello, welcome back to More Fun Fixing It. Let me just say this now. This could be a Patreon exclusive, and it could be a full release. I'm not sure yet. This might get released. It might not. But yeah, let's carry on and have a look at what I've got on the bench. This is a Spectrum Plus 2, and this is one of Paul Universal Retro Boss's machines that he sends over for repair. And this one says works, but no tape deck. Now, I haven't got this connected up to capture because I'm just being lazy. I've just got a camera pointed at the screen. But Paul, that's not working. What are you talking about? That's clearly broken. Yeah, it's probably broken on the, sitting in my garage has probably broken it. But the machine is actually working. And I've run the diagnostics on Steam Card Pro on it, and it passed everything. So let's have a look and see if we can find out why it's not working. I've already taken the screws out. Oh, there's one thing. Paul said that the tape deck, before we go inside, the tape deck wasn't working. Have I switched that on? I haven't switched it on. But I can see the wheels are turning in here. So I think whether Paul's tried this and it's just not loaded, it might have been whatever's causing the video issue was linked to that as well. So let's bear that in mind, but the tape deck will need a service as well. Before I show you this, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, PCBWay. Not only do PCBWay make it possible for so many retro and vintage tech YouTube channels to exist, they also somehow find time to make super high quality PCBs. They'll even assemble them for you if that's what you need. You'd think there wouldn't be time for anything else, but oh no, they can also provide you with all your 3D printing needs, including fused deposition modelling, or FDM to you and I, selective laser sintering, a very cool tech that allows printing with tricky materials like nylon and TPU, selective laser melting. Look, anything with lasers in it is cool in my book, but this process means they can print in aluminium, stainless steel, tool steel, and even titanium. And that's not even going into all the other things they can do, like sheet metal fabrication, injection molding, and CNC machining. I'm hungry. Can they make sandwiches? Thank you, PCBWay. I've already taken out the tape deck connector, keyboard connectors out, and looking at the back of the tape deck, that belt is not really hanging on there. There's quite a lot of slippage going on as well. There's another belt in there that's looking a bit thin. So I'll have to take that apart, give it a clean out, lubricate all the bits that need lubricating, tighten up the screws, because I think that there's two grounds on here and they're connected via the chassis through these screws. That's why it's got these grip washers on here to grip into the metal, and they often come loose and that stops the tape deck working so well. So I'll have to tighten those up. And the first thing I want to look at is the ULA. But first I'm going to just plug it back in again and see if I can get any difference by poking around in here on the screen. And ROM's in a socket as well, but there's not making any difference. It's very consistent, and I've got a horrible feeling it's the ULA that's a problem here. And the ULA in these is this long chip here under this crazy aluminium heatsink. It doesn't feel like it's in the socket. It's not in the socket very well at all. It's a single wipe socket, not great. But let's actually, before I move that too far, I'm just going to stick an arrow on here just to show where pin 1 is, because you can't see where pin 1 is with this crazy heatsink. Right, let's get that off the bench for a sec. Here I've got this issue 2 Spectrum that I've got. Somebody donated to the channel and says, Spectrum Plus 2, yours to keep if you like, recapped. Done all the work on it, and I tried Retro Bright in the top case, went a bit marbled, so it didn't do the bottom. It actually doesn't look too bad. There's a little bit of marbling on there, but you wouldn't really notice. And it looks really clean and nice and shiny. But I can't remember who donated this, and they haven't written their name on this note. So if you're watching this and you recognise this machine, can you let me know so I can write your name on here so I'll remember forevermore? Anyway, it's not the tape deck we're after. I want to remove this ULA here and pop the suspect one in this. Actually, verify the machine first. Verify the machine first. Right, you can see that's working nicely. This heatsink makes it quite tricky to get these out. There we go. Not bent any pins too badly. That one's a bit bent. I can straighten those in a minute. And this one's not got any bent pins, so let's just stick that one straight back in there. And there we go. So we know a known working machine, Dodgy ULA. Right, so well, I can't mark that ULA because it's got a big heatsink on it. But I do have this spare ULA, and this is the good machine, so I don't want to put it back in there. Just going to test this before I put it back away. Yeah, that's good. Let's put this new ULA in here. I'm fairly sure this works. It's been sitting in my collection of chips for a long time, waiting for a home. Hopefully we found it one. And there you can see it's working. Does it need a heatsink? I've never been convinced that these actually need a heatsink, so I'm just going to give this a little testing with this. Yeah, it's already up to 50 degrees, 51 degrees and climbing. So it needs something. I don't really want to put that horrible, ugly thing on it. I've got these ones, but I've got some more somewhere else that my friend Phil Sands donated. Where's your box, Phil? Damn it, where the hell have I put that? Well, I would have used Phil's ones, but they seem to have gone walkabout. Anyway, yeah, that's getting quite hot. What's that up to now? I did leave it on for a few minutes there. 67, 68, 68 degrees. That's not, in the scheme of things, too bad. And the heat is concentrated in this centre bit. So I'm going to put like 3 of these down the centre of this. Right. That'll protect that. And now I just need to fix the tape deck. Right, let's get this out of the way. And turn our attention to this bit. It's much easier to work on this out of the case. Here's another really good use for blue tack, or in this case, white tack. I'm going to place the screws wherever they come out of the deck, because we've got all sorts of different lengths here. Just the LED board to move. And they're all nice and safe and tidied away. There's some dirt and wear on the main reed head, so I'm going to try and clean that with cotton bud first. pinch roller looks really clean, but I'm going to give it a little clean with some window cleaner or Windex. Yeah, there's nothing on it. This has hardly been used. That's really very little on there. I think I'm going to try just tightening the screws up first. They did need a tighten. And then there's this little leaf switch that when you press the play button, that gets pressed across. And that can corrode over time. So I'm just gonna give that a little clean with a very light piece of abrasive paper. Oh, not that one. And not that one. And some contact cleaner. And give the board an inspection for any dry solder joints. That all looks good to me. And the last thing I need to do, take these belts off. Now, I don't know if I've got this belt, this pair of belts here. I think this is a set to go on. Yeah, it is. So that's a new one, that's an old one. Let's see if that makes any difference. This is a known good working tape for me, the Kobayashi Naru. That's not right. What on earth is going on there? That's not the belts, there's something else that's wrong with this. Just realised what the problem was. Did you spot it? Kobayashi Naru. It's a C64 game. You fool. Right, let's try. I'm such an idiot. Let's try that again. That's loaded perfectly fine. I wonder if it'll work. Ooh, it's like a good game. Pac-Man clone. Right, so that one's pretty much done. The tape drive is okay. I'm going to give it a little bit of a lubrication as well, just to help it along. And I might try and find some slightly better belts for it than that. They're not sure that they're 100% the right size, so I've got some hanging around somewhere. But I'll dig them out and stick some in there. I might have picked some up with the Amstrad lot actually. Anyway, that one's now ready to go back to Paul once I put it all back together and finished off the tape deck. But you don't want to see all of that. Thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, maybe consider giving it a like and subscribe, and check out my other channel, More Fun Making It. And if you like what I'm doing and you'd like to support my channels, then you can head over to Patreon, which you'll find a link to in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Let's turn that off. And you.